There can be no denying. You are supreme. Anything you wish is nothing in this universe dare challenges the claim. There be only one word to describe you. Within your grasp rest the infinite. My humble personage bows before you grandeur. I am proud to be your first acolyte and bask in the presence of your glory. How may I serve you, great Thanos? By falling silent, Mephisto. The moment is upon us when the stars must come to realize the absolute truth of your words. None shall deny my righteous place in the pantheon of the cosmic gods. I claimed the seat at the head of the table. There are secrets hidden within the heavens that even I, the master of the mystic arts, am not privy of. Doctor Strange is but a mage, not some all-knowing deity. It's been an uneventful day, and my hope was that the night would be the same, as such good fortune was not to shine on me. I was in the midst of a late dinner when I first became aware of the approaching crisis. Will you be going out tonight, Master? Only as far as my mind and this book will take me long. A medical journal about an outbreak of insanity in the Catskill Mountains. What caused this epidemic? No one seems to, by the vision. What was that? Me and Rindra are out shopping, which means we have an intruder on the premises, one who will surely regret choosing this house too. You, of all the people I imagined, might be lurking in my study. The Silver Surfer was not among the list, and the truth is, he wasn't exactly lurking. He seemed barely capable of opening his eyes and moaning. Strange must reach. Strange. You have my friend. Huang, help me get him to the sofa. Surfer, can you hear me? Why? Yes, came to warn you. Warn me. Warn me about what? Great danger coming this way must be stopped. Who? What? His arrival could herald the end of the universe. Thanos is coming. I know. You thought him dead. He was, but he is no longer. How could any of us know that? Mistress Death would resurrect a monster. Apparently, Death has long thought the fact that there are more people alive today than have ever died was a type of cosmic imbalance. This was an irregularity she sought to right, using the dark powers at her disposal, and so she made the tragic mistake of retrieving Thanos, the mad titan, from the realm of the dead. Through him, Death would mold the universe to her liking, along with renewed life. Death gave him greatly augmented power. Thanks would need this might to perform the dark task his mistress assigned him. Death has ordered Thanos to slaughter half the sentient population of the universe. For long months, Mephisto, I have complicated the direction in which I should steer the destiny of this reality. All the myriad possibilities, so many choices. I do not envy you such astral burdens. At times it seemed I would drown under an infinity of self-questioning, but at long last I realize there is but one question that needs answering. I am now a Putant. What should I do with such almighty power? The answer to that is really quite simple. Anything I want. Anything. I am incapable of error. Any result that displeases me, I can simply erase. There is nothing I need worry on, for I am Thanos, and Thanos his sinister scheme has confined, while gazing into the depths of death's infinity well. There he learnt of the soul, or infinity gem's true power, and convinced his dark mistress that the task assigned him cannot be carried to fruition without them. Not even death realized what limitless might the mad Titan was striving for. Through cunning sheer strength and murder, Thanos wrestled the infinity gems from those that possessed them, and with each acquisition, he gained mastery over the soul, the mind, time, reality, space, and power. In other words, Thanos now has the unbridled power of a god. No longer do the laws of nature bind him. His will can bend the very fabric of reality. He is all, and all there is now his command. Thanos is now mightier than death itself, more powerful than any force in the universe. Such a force, in the hands of a madman, a nihilist, it could mean the end of all that is. They were all great, losers. He first became aware of them as he stepped out of a bar in some place called upstate New York. Naturally, they were thanked to the girls. "We're hot. We should have got out of here hours ago." The ringleader was a cold-eyed brute called Jake Miller, getting pretty tired of her anyways. Nagging fight. The tub of the Lord was Ralph Bunker. You just don't knock off a liquor store, waste the shopkeeper, and spend the rest of the day in a bar. The blonde bimbo went by the name of Bambi Long. Can you believe it? Fads, you just gotta learn to relax and enjoy life. Can't you two get it through your heads? We gotta get out of state, maybe up to Canada. We are. What a jerk that Jake was. Guess the big lug forgot about one certain curve on the back of his mind, because he drove off, doing better than 65. No one survived. Then the sudden stop at the bottom of the cliff. No one realized the extent of Thanos' new might, a being called the Destroyer, and I foolishly confronted the Titan. It almost proved to be fatal miscalculation on my part. We were but helpless puppets within his grasp. He toyed with us, laughing all the time. My much-lauded cosmic might was nothing compared to the power Thanos brandished. Then when he was finally tired of us, Mad Titan used the power of the Soul Gem to steal our essence. When we woke from the ordeal, the Destroyer and I found ourselves within the metaphysical world of the Soul Gem. It was the most bizarre place I have ever encountered. It was there I met a strange and enigmatic man called Adam Warlock, apparently the spiritual leader of the soul world. Encountering him was an experience I'll long remember. It was through a spell cast by him that the Destroyer and I were able to return to this reality, a herring escape. By the time we regain our bodies, Thanos had departed to an unknown destination to consider the best use he could make of his new round dignity. We were informed by the development, but my longtime enemy Mephisto, for reasons all his own, and warned that we should fortify our universe against the Titan's inevitable return. I immediately set out for Earth to spread the word of approaching danger, but unfortunately, many an event kept me from reaching the world until now. I pray my warning has not come too late. So do I. I stand in awe of Thanos' might and his ability to wield it as if it has always been part of him. And in the twinkling of an eye, the Titan whisks us off to the Hall of Death, a realm even I have never dared to trespass in. and in a blinding flash of empathy, I realized the most disturbing truth. Even ultimate power does not make the master of all you survey. Mistress Death, my love, I have returned. It's in my most sincere hope that you have at least forgiven me my duplicity in gaining the Infinity Gems. It would appear she hasn't. My lord, my sympathies, you are not deserving of such brusque treatment. No, I am not. The big guy waited until the fires had cooled, some before sending us in. It would have been nice of him to give us some warning. He was making his move. But no, there was this blinding flash, a feeling of vertigo. The three of us were in our new homes. For better or worse, this body is dead, and it's been charboiled. It's a mess. I can't go walking around looking like this. You shall not have to. My powers are healing and modifying these husks to fit our specific needs. But the transmutation will take time. We will need a place to rest while I complete my handiwork. Looks like we're in luck. I appear to be the least damaged of the three of us, so I shall arrange for our lodging. Wait here for me. Hey, babe, you ought check yourself out in the mirror. You're turning green. Green. How nice. So much power in the possession of one who has barely reached the status of godling. The very thought boggles the mind. Thanos could destroy even me with but a thought, yet his basic soul remains on the edge of mortality. Is he capable of managing the forces now under his command, or will his fragile heart be his undoing? Darling mistress, your scorn wounds me deeply. It was never my intention to wrong you, nor do I believe I have. True, I did use the powers you granted me to seek out the Infinity Gems, to become the supreme being that now stands before you. But I only saw such glory in order to become worthy of your love. Your heart deserves better than the thrall I was. I have no other choice than to become your equal, not equal, superior. Now Mistress Death is nothing more than your love slave. That was a position you chafed in, but she is the keeper of my heart. How can she find such status any less stifling? Your love is bondage. My love is worship. The mistress of the Hall of Death has no need for sycophants. No, you are wrong. Death should be revered. Shrine should be built for her. Yes, shrines. What's merit has the beauty, be it not cherished and honored. How could I gaze so deeply into my loved one soul and not build more monuments to her? I be now a deity, yet first I was a man. My adoration for death was the only mortal trait worth bringing with me to this lofty plateau. So fault me not for celebrating this fiery passion and the focus of such deep emotion. Come, sit by my side, dearest one, in the depths of the eternal light. You and I are queen and king, our domain beyond the universe. From these thrones we shall decide the fate of 1,000,000 solar systems and all that inhabited them. For this vantage point, tomorrow shall be designed as a token of my heartfelt esteem. Mistress Death, I give thee all that is. Still she spurns me. Perhaps it is because she does not yet realize the true stagnant depths your black soul is capable of achieving. What do you mean? Mistress Death is a dark spirit, ebon in her ways. Her mate must be one of a like bent. Are you up to such a challenge? Am I not Thanos? Did I not butcher the woman who gave me birth, who force-fed me into this hell called life? Is not the wake of my passing crimson with the blood of my enemies and allies alike? Death is with me every second of the day. My every moment is spent in either dealing out death or worshipping it. Tell me, so who under the stars is better suited than me to be death's consort? No one, but it's not I you need to prove this to. Yes, that is what I must do, if proof of my depravity is what is needed. So be it. Behold, Mistress Death, Thanos' greatest creation. Allow me to introduce to you Nebula, my granddaughter. At least that's what she claims to be. So I took her at her world and made her my own. From a vigorous and healthy young thing, I created that which you stands before you. My power and spirit sculpted Nebula into walking death, limbs twisted, flesh charred and cracked, and nearly mindless, but all rights the which should be dead. But yet she lives. She exists on a fine line between life and death, a limbo of sorts. My unearthly power being maintains her balance on this precious perch. Nebula has no hope of unconsciousness, or true death realizing her continuous horror and agony. She is my living tribute to the blasphemy of life and the glorious purpose of death. Do not turn your back to me, woman. Titan, Mistress Death finds your boast empty, and your bravado distasteful. Mistress, you will address me directly or not at all. I do not comprehend this attitude of yours, mistress. All I seek is your love and approval, but all I received from my Herculean efforts is your disdain. What have I done to deserve such rejection? Perhaps it is what you haven't done that riles the maiden. Of course, so engrossed have I been in reveling in my newfound mate that I have been remiss in fulfilling the obligation accepted during my past life. My love bade me to extinguish the light of half the universe populace. It is a task I have yet to complete. How inconsiderate of me. My behavior has been inexcusable. No wonder you have been angry with me. A lover should always follow through on a vow given. He is really going to do it. Snap. Bagged myself a couple of burglars and 3 muggers. A typical night's work for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I was calling it quits and headed back home, when something like a wave of vertigo hit me. Then the old spidey sense went off, like it never had before. It felt like my skull was going to explode. Decided to come in for a landing until it passed. When the old head cleared, I found myself staring down at the crowd, walking around Times Square. Even at this late hour, the place was jumping. Why couldn't I have kept my eyes shut just a few seconds longer? But I didn't, so I ended up witnessing a sight, and I'm sure will haunt my dreams for years to come. There was no ominous warning, not one storm cloud, heavenly voice nor of all, or the kind of things you think would accompany such a catastrophic event. Nothing. Just half the people down in the square merely vanished. At first, I thought I was losing my mind, flipping out. But then the street crowd confirmed the reality of this nightmare. Charlie. Where did you go, Charlie? My baby. Who or what could have done this? Had only Times Square been affected? Or was this happening all over the city? Then it hit me. Mary Jane. I just stopped by the Avengers HQ to go over some computer files involving a case I was working on. Everything seemed peaceful enough. I should have known it wouldn't last. I didn't expect to find Hawkeye in from the West Coast, keeping Cersei company during her stay on monitor duty. Cap, I found that file you were asking about. Thanks, Cersei. I was reaching for the file when it happened. They were disappearing. There was absolutely nothing I could do. Nothing at all. They were gone. I felt so helpless and scared because deep down inside I knew the beginning of something that was destined to become much bigger and more horrible than anything the Avengers had ever before faced. When you're the chief honcho on S.H.I.E.L.D., you expect it to hit the fan occasionally, but I never figured it'll get this bad this quick. No, Mr. President, we're still trying to figure out what happened. Yes, half my crew vanished also, sir. We're getting reports from all over the globe. As soon as I know, sir. So will you. Goodbye. Selection teleportery shows nothing, sir. Terrific. Half the human race just up and vanished. And in the world's greatest spy network can't figure out what caused it. In the world's greatest spy network can't figure out what caused it. I got a nasty feeling about this, Val. This was going to be bad. Real bad. New bulletins coming in indicate that humans are not all the only creatures falling victim to the greatest disappearance. Cattle farmers report that half the herds have vanished. Indeed, scientists believe half of all animal life on the planet has disappeared, along with the missing human victims. Many pet owners have shrink. I've heard enough, so it's happening everywhere. Not just here on Broadway, not just to Rick, but the abomination is involved somehow. So that's where I start. When I become Empress of the Skrull Empire, I never expected the post to be easily handled. This is far more than I ever dreamt I'd have to reckon with. For even the farthest reaches of the Empire come reports of the massive disappearance. I believe there can be no doubt who is responsible for this outrage. None whatsoever. Only your ancient enemy would dare such a blatant act of aggression. The Kree must pay for this vicious deed with blood. Let there be war. A sense of great unease came from me. No one cannot explain away. All over the universe, I can feel them. Master, I feel Wong. What the? By Hoggoth. Wong. They're all dying. Billions upon billions of souls are blinking out of existence. What are you talking about? No one knew what struck them. Horrible. I could taste the dread and confusion. They are with and part of death now. Just too much to bear. Too much. Few known that life exists on Saturn's moon Titan. There, within the bowls of the artificial satellite, lives a race of demigods in a peaceful paradise. It's the home of the Titans, my home, and so I urged my friend Firelord to return with me to Titany. Dear mentor, I fear he would be of great service to us in any future struggle against evil Thanos. I am most certain he would. Son Eros, I've heard much about you, friend Firelord, and welcome you. What? Father, what Firehead do to the old man? This be not what my doing Emerald One. Yes, stay thy hand, destroyer. Attention. Priority alert. What is it, Isaac? Reporting planet-wide phenomenon. Half of population has suddenly vanished without trace. I currently have no explanation of this occurrence. Thanos. I think we were all adjusting pretty well to our new bods. I'd lost my Bridget Locken. The babe was keeping busy stitching together a new outfit. I like being back myself. It It seems strange having to do something like sewing again. I miss this reality with odds at different places to go, things to do, taste to savor, people to annoy, and yes, hey, where'd you go? Oh, gone. Of course, I kept my head straight, didn't panic. Help, help. She just went and vanished. It's not my fault. You gotta do something. Oh no, a fat lot of help you're gonna be. The jet finally ran out of fuel and augured in onto Fifth Avenue. A pretty clean hit, really. Those passengers were lucky the Avengers were out on hand to help out, and luckier still that Thor was passing by. But we can't be everywhere, and the whole world's currently one big emergency. Just hang in there, folks. We are coming. I have a seriously injured woman in first class. It's too much, Viz. Not even the Avengers can handle what's coming down. But we must try She-Hulk. We cannot surrender to despair. When the first reports of the great disappearance come in, I'm in my office at Vaughn Security Systems, wondering what I can do to help. Figure Epoch might have some answers. But before I can ask him, join us, my champion. Epoch, who's that in there with you? One who has made clear to me just how precious this universe's current situation is. And so, the cosmic guardian Quasar must now undertake a new mission. We're in astral rendezvous to arrange. Ship's log, Captain Dia. Sea reporting. Bulletins continue to flood in from all over the Kree Empire. Half of our people have mysteriously disappeared. There can be no doubt who is responsible for this outrage. This tragedy reeks of Skrull treachery. The entire fleet has been put on red alert status. We go to join the Armada. The war to end all wars begins. Glory to the Kree Empire, the condition of the unexpected house guest. With such, I thought, imprudent to seek an outside consultation on the matter. Fortunately, Mr. Henry Pym happened to be in town. The surfer seems to be regaining his strength, just by lying in the sun, with his alien psychology. It was the best remedy I could come up with. Well, it appears to be working. I must be going now, Stephen. I should be with the West Coast Avengers. With this great disappearance going down, I'll breathe them on what you've told me. You best contact the original Avengers directly. Of course. Master. Is something wrong? Master. Speak to me. Doctor Strange. Can you hear to me? Yes, though I've never before been contacted quite in this manner. Who are you? One may be able to save your reality from the insanity that is Thanos, but I cannot do it alone. The only hope your universe has is the banding of all champions of righteousness under one leader. I must be that leader. I doubt Earth's defenders will blindly follow someone who just popped up out of nowhere. You are a stranger to me. One myself see no reason to trust. Then your first task is to convince them otherwise. There is a method by which that obstacle to progress can be overcome. I can open my soul to you, but in doing so, your soul would be barred to me. It's not an experience I would normally opt in, but the danger that confronts us is too great. Be warned, though. I must take the risk. So be it. If I sense any treachery, you shall learn to your dismay why I am known as the master of majestic arts. I didn't realize the things you've seen, and so clear to me now. Master, with whom do you speak? You now have my complete trust. I will aid you any way I can. My instruments indicate that the force responsible for the great disappearance originated on the far side of the galaxy. I have never before encountered such powerful readings. Yeah, I'm picking up similar emulations from a small town in upstate New York. These transmissions are being directed to the home of Dr. Stephen Strange. What is the connection? This is a question I must have answered, for this is my universe. These are my people disappearing, and no one should dare tamper with what belongs to Dr. Doom. Plus, there is the fact that great disasters of this magnitude also present a curious intellect with great opportunity, a chance to expand on my scientific knowledge and personal power. Things going bad on Titan. Destroyer not sure what happened. Oh man, Mentor goes bye-bye, and then subspace transmissions indicate that this mass disappearance is a universal phenomenon. Half the galaxy's population blinked out of existence. A lot of whole dead people. Horrible. I'm not sure how he did this, but I'm positive this is my brother Thanos' doing. If I could. Eros. First Mentor disappears. Now Eros vanishes. What's next? Don't Firehead mean who's next? I've been in many difficult situations in my life, but I know the very moment I open my eyes that this is a whole new cosmic level of trouble. I immediately recognize the legendary Infinity Gems my brother wears as the source of his newfound might. And if that weren't bad enough, a few feet away sounds powerful. Mephisto. The devil, you say? Yes, sir, I'm into it. Up to my ears this time. And there is Mistress Death, a regal sight have hoped never to be seen. Takes me a while to realize who the stumbling wreck wandering about is. Thanos' granddaughter, Nebula. She's a real mess. 'Tis a family reunion. My dear brother, let the old Nebula in yourself greet and befriend the new, my lover and mate Death. Mephisto is but an advisor. Oh, brother Thanos, how can this be a family reunion without father being present? Mentor was not invited, nor will he be. Father was a dangerous man, which is why I made sure he was among the disappeared. He would have tried to abort my vision of the future. I could not allow that. Ultimate power is now mine, and I shall reshape the universe with it. Nothing must interfere with this holy mission. Then nothing shall. Everything is going to work out just the way you want it to, my brother. And if there is anything I can do to help, like using your emotional manipulation powers on me, let's say we see how charming you can be, Eros, without your mouth. This is how it shall be with all things that irritate proud Thanos. Annoyances will simply cease to be. Here's the update on the tally of disappearing superheroes. Still no word on the X-Men or Excalibur. No, maybe they're off the planet. Feel crummy doing this, but even in the midst of this chaos, I've got to cover that I'm not the original Thor. I fought by the side of many of those fallen. This shall be mourned deeply. This is real bad. It doesn't get any worse. You sure about that, Cap? You're absolutely sure. I great Odin witness half my people vanish. In the twinkling of an eye, the ceremonial eye patch of sorrow did I immediately don, and I did look about and see this catastrophic was a universal plague, which is why I did summon you to Asgard, my fellow Sky Fathers. Each of us is the supreme leader of a population of deities, and a mighty power in in your own right. Zeus of Olympus, the Mayan god, Itzamna, Osiris of Egypt, the Celtic god Nuada, Manitou, an American Indian spirit, Svarog of Russia, Tezcatlipoca, the Aztec deity. My mystic senses do warn that the peril we face is such immense power that it shall take our combined might to overcome it. I feel same, and let it be agreed that we face our enemy as a united fighting force, and therefore beware. We are with you, Brother Odin. The Sky Brothers stand as one, 2,000 light years from Earth. Well, we're here. Now what? Now we shall wait patiently. Wait for what? For the moment to happen. I'm still cooling my heels in that roach motel, waiting for the boss man to make his grand return from the land of sleeping bag cocoons. Luckily, I finally found a channel on the boom tune that wasn't obsessed with filling every second with coverage on the Great Disappearance. Who would have thought this planet capable of such highbrow entertainment? Also, like the way they brew their Rotgutier. Beers always played a big part in the life of Pup the Troll. Sure, maybe the rest of the universe going down the tubes. But as long as I have a good smoke, a few brewskis, and some munchies, my world is okay. Unfortunately, the best part is always end too early. Hey, gotta hand it to him though. A guy really knows how to make an entrance. A real showstopper. Okay, Mr. Party Pooper. You fixed it so we can't stay here anymore. Where are we headed now? After Thanos. Terrific. Just what I wanted to hear. At the best of times, the reception of the lost consciousness is a jarring, disorientating experience. But a moment like this, what? It can be devastating. Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, I warn you, you meddle in dangerous matters you do not fully understand, and you shall enlighten me, or suffer further discomfort at my servant's hands. Doom unharm my comrade, or I shall fall victim to his superior intellect and power as you did in our last encounter, which is exactly what I did. Being terribly weakened from my earlier battle with Thanos Stone Golem, further time was needed for my strength to renew itself. Now, Strange, you will breathe me on everything you know of the Great Disappearance and the forces behind it. You shall speak, or I will. There is no need to threaten anybody. My good doctor, it will be my pleasure to tell you everything you wish to know. Intruder, who are you? In my time, many called me Adam Warlock. You may do also, if you feel so inclined. A man who was supposed to have been killed nearly a decade ago while battling Thanos. Now do you understand, my dear, the pleasures of having family visits? Amusing, aren't they? Mistress Death doesn't appear to think so. Well, that situation can be easily remedied. New entertainments can be devised. By the heavens, Thanos' newly acquired power has obviously deranged him. He's going completely insane. In his current state of mind, anything is possible. He might, on a whim, even destroy the universe. And that is how Thanos gained his vast power. And I came to aid the wording of his mad schemes. Then you are the entity I communicated with earlier. An amazing story in a pearl that rivals the coming of the Beyonder. There's a challenge we must meet and triumph over. There is but one way this can be accomplished. I must lead the forces of sanity against the mad Titan. But what right do you claim to mantle of leadership? A man who was supposed to have been killed nearly a decade ago while battling Thanos. Perhaps, but I alone am familiar with with the secret workings of the Infinity Gems. That knowledge is this universe's only hope, a banner I will gladly stand behind. What do you say, Surfer? 'Tis better than following doom. Then raise your army, and we shall see what comes of it. But is Warlock truly the best choice? He seems remarkably different from the man I met on Soul World. There is so little anyone really knows about him. How can we be certain? Is this improvisation more to your liking, my love? What does it take to please you? I have given you every wish in the universe to boot, yet still you deny me even the slightest of smiles. I strive only for your affection and approval. I would do anything to just once hear you speak my name aloud. Anything. The dark gods, anger and frustration, are all summoned force. The psychic wave of power rises from the stellar movement of love and washes out into the ether. The first heavenly body to encounter the wave is a 20-million-year-old red giant star. Every law of nature revolts against the jewel's continued existence. Its end is breathtaking. It is but one of many that will fall before the wrath of Thanos, the supreme being of this universe in reality. A planet I was about to consume crumbles beneath the Titan's rage, the second planet of which he has cheated me. Yet I keep my anger in check. I have to, for I realize that even my staging might is nothing compared to the near infinite power Thanos now wielding. But I think not that Galactus plans to turn tail and run from this upstart demigod. Galactus is a being of power and intellect. Plans must be conceived and alliances formed. Only then may I save you the cold feast of vengeance. The readings of Thanos' destructive psychic eliminations are astonishing. The wave devastates nearly a quarter of the galaxy. It will only be at 2% of its peak strength when it hits that planet. Norin Rado once talked me out of consuming. Then one called Earth. I am lost. Dagger is gone. How can I go on? The truth is, I have no reason to. The lady and I were linked in so many ways, two halves of a whole. I am better off dead. I can never. What? Good God, he saved our lives. That's right, lady. But it remains to be seen if I did y'all any real favor. I'm hovering on the edge of space in a specifically constructed Iron Man rig, trying to get some better readings on certain off-planet energy signals. I suspect they have something to do with great disappearance. Suddenly, every gauge of the sensor unit redlines. What? The forge wave hits me like a runaway train. It shorts every circuit in the suit. Fortunately, my backup system's able to kick in. That's when I see it. From this altitude, it's quite a sight. One that will surely give me nightmares for the rest of my life. Helplessly, I watch as the entire western coast of the United States breaks off and falls into the ocean. I know there's nothing I can do to help, but I have to try. I pick up on an Avengers Quinjet on the half-down. We were coming in for a landing when it hit. There was nothing we could do. Nothing. There were millions of people in California alone. They're all gone. We just couldn't save them. It was all of a sudden like the end of the world. There was truly no method available to predict the approach of Thanos' destructive, psychotic oversloth. How was I to know how devastating it would prove to be? One moment, beautiful Asgard sat peacefully, a jewel in the heavens. A mere moment later, the home of the proud Norse gods was torn asunder. Its spears toppled, the rainbow bridge shattered. Don't you feel the change? It was no simple earthquake. The turmoil has brought interdimensional changes. The space-time continuum has shifted. We have been cut off from Midgard and its reality. We are trapped on Asgard, unable to return and protect our homes. Blame not yourself, my brother. There was no way you could have known. Hey, I realize this. Yet, still my heart and soul damn me for a fool. I felt the tremors and traced them across the Atlantic Ocean floor to their source. What I discovered was the incredible. Not even I, Namor, the Submariner, have ever seen. Such a magnificent sight. But then my awe is tempered by the realization that the creation of these isles will have catastrophic results. There will be tidal waves, probably even heading toward the eastern coast of the United States. Namorita is the name. It's by sheer chance that I'm flying over the Atlantic City. It's early morning, and a young couple walk along the boardwalk alone. Probably honeymooners. They hear the roar and look up to see approaching death. The wave is nearly a quarter-mile high. There'll be no escaping it. The young lovers are the only two people I managed to save. It's Thor calling the Avengers headquarters. You can inform Fury that reports he received about the Isles of Japan are confirmed. They are no more. Thanks Winghead for the recon. When he does returns, how Avengers HQ hold up to the quake. Cracked but still standing. Thank God for New York bedrock. We're gearing up to be the comm center for any paranormals who wish to help during the crisis. Good move. I'll spread the word out. Vision, what about the West Coast branch? I'm accessing them now, Captain. One of the progress report. We're setting up a house in Vegas, calling in the reserves. Same here. We're going to need all the help we can get. Things are getting pretty ugly out there. It appears everyone fared fairly well, thanks to Dr. Strange hastily cast spell of protection. What was that? Obviously an earthquake. Something got good teed off. Exactly. Infinity power at play. An eagle gone wild. Deprived creativity. Tell me truly, Mephisto. Be it or be it not. Art. Most magnificent. It is a masterpiece, Lord Thanos, and a monument to the cosmic wonder that is you. But I doubt this opinion be held by the inhabitants of the world you destroyed to create this wonder. Earthquakes, tidal waves, volcanic eruptions, cities burning. I thought things were as bad as they should get for old Mother Earth. But I was wrong. A Professor Harding down, and Shield's geoscience was the only one who laid the bad news on me. The computer's printing its collated analysis, Professor. My God, it's even worse than I feared. Out of my way. Get out of my way. Fury, I must speak with you immediately. Later, Harding. In case you ain't heard, we got this ill worldwide emergency on our hands. More than emergency than even you realize. You must look at this readout, which tells me exactly zip. Give it to me in plain English and make it quick. This is a computer analysis of the damage caused by the stellar wave of the force, the one that caused those earthquakes. I'm afraid the earthquakes are the least of our worries. The force wave has derailed our planet from its set orbit. What? The Earth is slowly drifting away from the sun. Our world is heading for a new, never-ending ice age. The universe falls asunder around us. I can no longer put off confronting Thanos. I agree the time for action is now. Not yet. There are forces at work you do not perceive. I weave a strategy which rash actions could rend. Patience, please. We must trust in Warlock Friend Surfer. I too sense the tremendous powers gathering for a final confrontation. To strike out prematurely could prove disastrous. But the waiting and not knowing what might happen next is bad deaning. And let us be preoccupied with the business at hand. Dr. Strange, are you prepared to execute the next step in my master plan? Ready and willing? Then let us be off. Good luck. The situation isn't looking too rosy at Avengers HQ. We've been having difficulties calling in our reserves. Suddenly, what? I've seen Doctor Strange do his grand entrance routine before. What I now find disturbing is the company he is currently keeping. Who? The Golden Man with Doctor Strange appears to be Adam Warlock, and that's Doctor Doom with them. Stay thy hand as guardian. Doom is our ally in this struggle. On this I should take your word, Mr. Coppertone, and the word of Doctor Strange and the Silver Surfer. I know you saw Warlock fall in battle and attended his funeral, but so how can he now be standing before us? Is this a reincarnation of sorts? Noble Thor, if that's what you be. But the details of my rebirth are of no importance. All that matters is the mission which brings us here, which is the raising of an army. There's bad craziness on the streets. More buildings burning than fire trucks and firefighters. I try to help out the best I can. The Black Widow's been in there close to 10 minutes. She's a goner for sure. My baby. I'm breathing flames, finding an escape route by sheer luck. But at least I saved the child. Hopefully she'll survive the insanity. More than enough have died already. Look on the 5th floor. Help me. For God's sake, somebody help me. You can't go back in there, widow lady. She's gone. Yeah, you've done all you could. But it's not enough. It's just not enough. Hear my words and heed them. I call upon you to aid in the struggle this poor, tortured world suffers. Your skills and powers are gravely needed. Then Iron Man would just have to answer that call. Count your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in two, and still others join the cause. The fierce mutant known as the Wolverine. The dull-witted yet powerful Drax the Destroyer. One time, Herald to Galactus and space traveler Firelord. Nova of the New Warriors. The regal and mighty Prince Namor the Submariner. The dark and forbidding Cloak. X-Factor's mutant leader Cyclops. The mutant mystic the Scarlet Witch. But I have a problem here. Dr. Banner the Hulk refuses to join us. His brute strength would be awfully useful in the upcoming battle. What is this problem? He's angry with the Avengers for turning their backs on him all these years. He was one of our founding members, and he can be again now that he's reformed. Then that do for now. We can talk particulars later, and so our little army is complete. When does the fun begin? Only when I say so. Who made Goldilocks boss around here? Circumstances Hulk. Everybody listen up. As you all know, we gathered to take on Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet. Before we go any further, Captain, I demand to discuss who would best serve as leader of this assault force. What is there to discuss? Obvious that only Doom has a leadership and ruthlessness suited for that position. Not a chance, Doom. I truly back Warlock in this matter. As do I. Dito. Me too, I guess. Like it or not, Doom, Latveria's only got one chance for survival. And it's Adam Warlock deep down, you know that. What do you say, in or out? Very well, Captain Inferno. Well, that was fun. Wise decision. You all know nothing of the mysterious workings of the Infinity Gems, or of the arrangements I've made to gather additional allies. Cosmic allies. Dr. Strange Surfer, are you ready? As ready as we can be. Then, Captain America, I leave you in charge until my return. Let us be gone. Where did they take off to? To the far distant corner of the galaxy. Say what? The Mark Spector Moonlight just doesn't believe it. My guess is that an old refinery upriver ruptured during the quake, and something ignited the escaping gas and oil, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I stopped stained glass scarlet from burning the city, but now it's burning anyway. The fire will take out half of what's left of New York City. When will it all end? And what will be left when it doesn't? To tell the truth, Spider-Man, I'm not sure I'm up to this. These are some of the world's mighty heroes gathered here. Don't waste time worrying about it, Cloak. They all put their tights on the same way you do, one leg at a time. You wouldn't have been called up if they didn't think you could cut it. You'll do just fine. Just wish I was as confident as I seemed. Facing Spidey, we're about to take on the most powerful force in the universe. Odds are against any of us living to see tomorrow. Epoch mission accomplished. When's this cosmic summit going to happen? Soon, Quasar, soon. Now, the silver and golden surfers. Welcome. They have not yet arrived. The gathering has been awaiting your arrival. Not even my experience as Earth's cosmic defender has prepared me for anything like this. I know who they are from stories Eon had told me, but to actually be in their collective presence is overwhelming. They are the astral titans of the universe, eternity, the actual embodiment of all there is, the mysterious Watcher, Lord Chaos and Master Order the galactic balance, the powerful and enigmatic stranger, the mysterious embodiments of love and hate, Kronos, the titan god of time, living tribunal, the cosmic judge of all realities, the mighty destroyer of worlds Galactus, and two giants. It can only be celestials. I was not expecting either eternity nor the living tribunal. Their presence almost comes as a surprise to me. Ah, eternity and that reality that Thanos strives to obscure. I come seeking judgment from the one being I consider a peer, and so the living tribunal stands present at eternity's request to hear his case. The mad titan seeks to unbalance that which is throw the nature of the universe into a maniacal entropy. I have considered the matter and cannot concur. Thanos only strives to replace your importance in the universe. His own. Natural selection is one of those universes' oldest. Cow news, the strong replace the weak. It is as it should be. No cosmic crime is being committed. The living tribunal shall not become involved in this matter. Eternity's taking a powder also. Why? Perhaps he has his own agenda to pursue. It matters not. We will deal with the forces still available to us, whose numbers I cannot be counted among Adam Warlock. I remain a watcher, and I'm here only to observe and record. How sad I had hoped that the current crisis would allow you to put aside that resolve. Nonetheless, I believe the powers gathered are more than sufficient to execute my plan of attack. Your plan of attack? You expect Galactus to follow one such as you into battle. That is why I am here. Galactus does not heed the empty words of 6 even golden ones. Then Galactus is a fool. Galactus no. Oh, we face a dire peril. My my fellow Titans. Our defense will be more easily planned without yammering mortals to distract us. Does Galactus let his anger so badly cloud his judgment? Who? Just a yammering mortal who knows that naked powers is seldom answer to any problem. Surely you must realize even this group's combined might is nothing compared to the Thanos wields. Only a richly complex and skillful executed strategy will ensure your survival. Time is short, and I have such a plan. Galactus. We know this. Adam Warlock. He is one outside the loop, of destiny and capable of wondrous deeds. Master Order and Lord Chaos have weighed the options and choose to join forces with Adam Warlock. Epoch and his champion Quasar also ally themselves with Warlock, as does the Stranger, and Love-Hates and the Celestials apparently. You can include Lord Cronus, also mortal. What now, proud and almighty Galactus? Never before felt things so tense around Avengers headquarters. The waiting's got me going up the wall. Viz, what do you figure our chances are of beating this Thanos character? Next to zero. But didn't the Avengers take this dude down a couple of times? Not exactly. In those encounters, the Avengers won the day, but not without help. You mean from Captain Marvel and Warlock? No, I mean from Thanos himself. In both battles, Thanos provided us with the means to thwart his dark plans. Whether he did so consciously or subconsciously, I don't know. You're saying their fighting forces can vanquish Thanos only if he wishes to be defeated, and if he doesn't feel like getting his butt kicked. And the universe, as we know it, is doomed. I know what you are. Hey, what's that? Something we best look into. You're a vicious, cold-blooded snake who does not care for anyone but himself. You see, this crisis is just another opportunity for better. Solidifying your power base. You're planning on grabbing whatever you can out of this mess, and the blazes with the rest of humanity. That is my way. Why you? Iron Man cut it out. Taking advantage of our hospitality is indivisible, Doctor. Avenger, you're out of line. Thor, take Iron Man into the other room to cool off. And as for you, Doom, I begin to wonder if the dissension your presence creates doesn't negate your usefulness. The upcoming battle will make that determined. Termination, Captain. What transpires here? Just a minor domestic dispute. Wasted energy better saved for dealing with Thanos. And when can we expect this battle to begin? Within minutes, my impatient captain. I have only a few last-minute details to attend to. Where can I find the mutant known as Wolverine? I saw him heading for the roof. What? The Hulk's up there. Those have tangled more times than I can remember. I better allow me to handle situation. How long has he been hovering there? Only a few moments, but the Watchers come and heralds the beginning of hostilities. Fools taking up arms against greatness. They rush head-on into Armageddon, so I should prove them with a most glorious doomsday. The heavens will run red with blood, but in the end, as always, Thanos will stand triumphant. Couldn't take being cooped up with those jerks any longer, huh? Just wanted some air. Didn't mean to disturb you. You didn't stick around. I didn't expect you to be like those other wimps. How come? You and we've had some down and dirty scraps. You fight someone, get to know them very well, and I've come to the conclusion, I like you, Shorty. Why is that? Because in our own ways, we're both monsters, Paul. Which is why I wish to speak with you two alone. What's on your mind? fancy pants, life and death. In a short while, we will confront Thanos, a being of unimaginable power whose sole goal is the destruction of our life. Your point, extreme ages to be called for in dealing with him. Meaning what? You and the Hulk have an outlook on death the others do not share, except for Doom, but he cannot be trusted. In other words, we get the chance. You want us to sanction Thanos. That is as good a way of putting it as any. You're a bit of a monster yourself, aren't you, Goldilocks? We are what circumstances make us. No. In May, my enemies come for me. Mistress Death, will you stand by my side? It is as I expected. I deluded myself into thinking you could ever care for me. But a supreme being has no need to suffer a void of affection. Thanos shall not rule alone. All things are possible for Thanos. Even life. Mysterious death meet Taraxia, the terrible. She is everything my soul longs for. Taraxia is everything you are not. Her touch is warm, and her devotion to me total. She is the calm to soothe the ache within my heart. I no longer have any need of you. Let there be cosmic warfare. Let the blood and the trails of my opponents scrub away my pain and sorrow. Defenders, time is upon us. Prepare yourselves for battle, most fierce and awesome. Doctor Strange has conjured mystic condiments which will transform for you to the precise location once the battle commences. The lives of your fellow companions in the universe depend on you following this plan. Each of you has been briefed on the line of attack you should institute. I have also cast a spell which will allow each of you to now breathe freely in the vacuum of space. For the next 60 minutes, Doctor Strange will remain behind to monitor, telepathically apprising me of the situation from each of your points of view. He will also facilitate the evacuation of any combat to injure to continue the struggle. I wish each of you the best of luck. Let us be away, Surfer. Where are we? Little more than a light year away from Thanos' current position. He should be off in that direction. You spot him with that far-reaching vision of yours. Yes, he's looking our way. I do not like being held in reserve, Warlock. My strength has returned. I should be part of the coming battle, and you will be, but only when the moment is right. Allies will need my power during the initial. You still do not truly comprehend our situation, do you? Perhaps not. Perhaps there appears to be much you have hesitated in sharing with your comrades. Thanos controls all aspects of time, reality, space, power, the soul and the mind. Quite literally commands all of these. He is truly invincible. Heads up, everybody. Utterly omnipotent. Time to make the big jump. Such statements are not grand, odious rhetoric. They are reality. On your mark, get ready, get set, go. Our allies' power is less than nothing against Thanos' might. They stand defeated before the battle has even begun. The true purpose of their attack is merely diversional. Your sacrificial lambs, and may the stars forgive me. This is exactly as I planned. My brother Thanos is insane. He beholds for the first mightiest heroes, Thor, Firelord, Namor, and Iron Man pounding to the attack. And what does he do? The madman smiles. But maybe he has his good reason too. Power is one thing Thanos has in abundance. Snap. Power to freeze Earth defenders in time. It appears this conflict will not live up to the expectations. Will not be a cosmic battle of the edge of the universe. Of course, Thanos has spared his entourage the indignity of being ripped loose from the time flow. Mephisto, Mistress Death, Nebula, Taraxia, and myself, Eros. Even the enigmatic Watcher sparred. What use is godhood if you have no audience to flaunt in before? Are these the best the universe could send against me? Such a puny force. With but a thought I could terminate their annoying existence. There are two others you might wish to include in your thoughts. My lord, the mortal known as the Silver Surfer, in my one-time comrade, Adam Warlock, returns to plague me in a new body. They seem to be the only two entities in the galaxy, intelligent enough not to challenge my omnipotence. Still, they should be dispatched with the rest. My lord Thanos, stay thy hand. The unseemly interpretation may just be opportunity disguised. Speak your mind, Mephisto. You have power without limits, yet you still fail to win Mistress Death's heart. These buffoons may prove useful. It's one changing the situation. How so? Courage, my liege. All female hearts, even when as cold as death or worn by the sight of raw courage, courage such as an inhibited in battle. But such bravery only exists when one faces the prospect of defeat. The meeting that stand will require balancing the terms of battle. Fools stand a chance of victory. Yes, I can do it. I need only to cut myself off from all the sensory input from time, space, reality, thought, and the soul. I would retain limitless power, yet not know my enemy's next move. I would allow them a 0.5% chance for victory. Not the greatest odds in the universe, but perhaps good enough to impress Mrs. Death. What game is Mephisto playing here? It was most subtly done, but that devil just saved the lives of Earth heroes and engineered the possibility of Thanos' defeat. The master of deceit is playing upon the confusion Thanos is experiencing, adjusting to his newly elevated state of being. Names the forces of life have a most unlikely comrade. Oh, who? It's only Nebula. And so we prepared to win this cosmic war. For never seen under these stars, mistress. My diminished capacity now turns this conflict into a true test of nerves and battle skills. A masterful plan, sir. I do believe I saw a gleam in Mistress Death's eyes. Then let that gleam be faint to a roaring flame. Let the battle begin. Snap. Time resumes its normal flow with bone-jarring results. Then the unbelievable happens. Drax the Destroyer and the monstrous Hulk take Thanos by surprise. He truly has damped his cosmic senses. Thanos is actually playing by the rules. How out of character. Love and godhood truly had befuddled his reason. Yeah, do even these mighty heroes stand a chance against Thanos' powers? I doubt it. They are but bothersome fleas to Thanos. So this is the hotshot who wants to destroy the universe. He doesn't look like much to me. This creep isn't even trying to defend himself. Easiest battle ever. What? How? Through their cause is hopeless. I must hand it to the Earth defenders. Their battle strategies frustrate and foolishly executed. The lesser four would for sure fall before their assault, but not Thanos. amazing. I would never have suspected such an avenue of attack. Of course, it's Captain America who leads his fighting force. It looks like we've got Thanos confused. On the power. Follow the plan. Vain hopes. I can already sense Thanos adjusting to the situation, taking control of the battle. The She-Hulk and Iron Man must be merciful if they hope to prevail. How goes the battle? As expected. I should be with my friends fighting by their side. That would be utterly stupid. And why is that? Because you have a major role to play in this little game. All in due time, my surfer. What you don't know, Thanos will stumble upon. Doesn't that same risk exist with him reading your mind? No, Thanos knows me. He will not risk such a distraction while in the midst of a barrel. Thanos has narrowed the scope of his god of a gift as he was beginning to adjust to it. His mind must be reeling from the changes. Of course, that makes him no less dangerous. Away from me, you clowns. Namor, there's some growing where Thanos touched this. Remove it quickly. Sorry, Namor. My brother would never lay trap so easily evaded. To your sorrow, there are truths that cannot be denied. He is Thanos, and his name is means death. The old campaigner in Thanos begins to return. This type of battle has always been his forte. Any hope I foolishly held of Earth's mightiest heroes triumphing quickly fades. Yet hope never dies. It is a universal condition within the species. Unfortunately, treachery. Besides, in some hearts, Dr. Doom, back off. You're in my way. The gauntlet. It will be mine. Such greed always creates his own reward. Doom tastes the bitter nectar of Thanos' wrath. Fortunately, his armor's defensive system saved him from suffering total defeat and destruction. But once again, a valuable lesson goes unappreciated. I will not be denied those gems, while one who has always known such truth fights on despite our odds, and in turn discovers new, more horrifying results. A teleportation portal conjured up by the power supreme. Without my hammer, I'll revert to plain old Eric Mascheroni in a mere 60 seconds. Have to make every moment count. So savage is the Thunder God's attack that even mighty Thanos is momentarily taking back. Sadly, spirit will only carry one so far, and in a counter such as this, power is only capital under in this high-stakes game, and a Thor was the highest card in our hand. Fire Lord, yet another of Galactus's heralds, is it not, whose power should put an end into this madness? Highly unlikely, my boastful friend. Then the truly unexpected happens, the miraculous. He is one of the X-Men, goes by the name of Wolverine. Of all the combats, he would have been one of the last I thought capable of, delivering the death blow. But then my hopes plummet from the mountain heights to the depths of the dark valley. Adamantium bone transforms into the spongy rubber, and the most vicious of Earth defenders flops to the ground, helpless. Doom, you return for another shot at my gauntlet. Only death will stand in my hand. That can be arranged. We grow restless and wish to join the battle. Not yet. Now be gone before Thanos senses your presence. Warlock, that is mighty eternity you speak to. Just another piece on the game board as far as I'm concerned. That's truly all this is to you, isn't it? A game. If I allow it to be any more than that, I cannot go on. My heart is deeply touched by the valor I witnessed here this day. The might scarlet, Witch and Cyclops' will is nothing compared to Thanos' power. They know this, yet still they press the attack. Thanos turns his attentions first to lovely Wanda. Her mutant hex power easily fall before his will. I avert my eyes. I have no wish to remember such horror. Wanda, and now my bright-eyed foe he shall. Impressive move cutting off the force beam when least expected. My brother pitches forward, off balance, and the Avenger Iron Man swoops in for the kill. Unfortunately, the metallic warrior's naked power is not equal to his battle prowess. Then Thanos' newly created perfect woman Tutaraxia joins the fray. Mad God allows her to vent her anger and frustration on the Golden Avenger. My brother sets his sights on the X-Men Cyclops. A clear block of force envelops the mutant's head, cutting off his force beam in midstream and cutting off oxygen to the warrior. Captain America rushes to the fallen warrior's aid. Whaley once successful ploy is tried again, but Thanos never falls for the same trick twice. Yet another valiant soul falls. Just a little further. Almost there. I made it, but perhaps too late. For the mystic spell doctor, strange cast so that the thunder god could breathe in the depths of dark space, apparently does not extend to this mortal Eric Masterson. He's dead. You murdered him, you cold-hearted monster. Such an emotional outburst. Not at all what I expected from the legendary Captain America, unless it serves to create a clever diversion. Being known as Cloak draws the crazed Titan into the ebon fold of his cape, into a dark and fearful dimension. You did it, Cloak. Can you hold him? Don't know. I think. No. Supremacy cannot be imprisoned. My dignity is absolute. Yours is a false godhood Titan, and all false gods eventually fall, or are toppled. Thanos laughs at their defiance, and I am chilled to the soul, for there is unholy truth in thy insane howl. Mrs. Death knows this. I can see it in her eyes. She has no doubt of this conflict's outcome. No peril exists to slaughter, to feed an already oversized ego. The only person that fascinated by this outrage is my granddaughter, Nebula. Body and mind are beyond all caring. She is but another twisted creation of Thanos' black soul and infinite power. He made her the charred caricature creature on the brink she now is. She would be far better off dead. Still, some dreams refuse to die. Some souls never know when the cause is lost. Such arrogance can be truly inspiring. The time portal opens. Mighty Fire Lord and Drax the Destroyer. Find this pull. Woa irresistible. They fall lost within Earth prehistoric past. Thanos, my love, I just patched the metal claw nuisance that persisted you. My thanks to Taraxia proved to be exactly what I had hoped for. A woman who shares the same values I do. What I might even come to what is all yours, Thor. I'll take care of that bimbo. Now you're in for it, madman. You laid waste to half a universe. A blacker deed I cannot imagine. It's time to pay the piper. That's it, Thor. Stay not your hand. Thanos must die, or all is lost. Good God, Thanos has turned Thor into glass. The grim, bottomless acceptance of our fate finally claims me. Thanos is inevitable. All life is lost. All that is left are tears, and the echoes of dreams shattered. Back off, prune face. No one's busting up Thor while Nova's around. Not round square. Square as in cube. Like a child's toy blocks. Echoes. Turn and face me, Thanos. Finally, the reserves are called. your Quasar, the late Captain Marvel's replacement, and wielder of the quantum bands. They shall prove to be your downfall. You suffer, Quasar. Not again. Suffer from unwarranted delusions of grandeur. Echoes. It's not over until the fat lady sings Thanos. Surely you just never been any good at stand-up routines or organizing a cosmic assault, I see. We tried. Ready yourself. Now, on my call. As long as one man stands against you, Thanos, you'll never be able to claim victory. Noble sentiments from one who is about to die. Thanos is going to kill him. Wait, I've lived my life by those sentiments. They're well worth dying for. Then one you shall. Thanos is always pleased to honor such a foolish request. Echoes. Now, Surfer misses his mark, and Thanos retains his godhood. The echoes of failed plans and good intentions wasted in futile acts. Nothing remains of hope. Nothing remains but sweet oblivion. An end to this nightmare. What have I been doing? Must have been out of my mind. They came so close I nearly lost it all. Let me once again be all that I can. I will myself back to full power. I wish this battlefield cleared of all remnants of the fool I nearly allowed, for I sense a greater struggle about to begin. We tried to do this the easy way and failed. Now begins the conflict I strove to avoid. It may well prove to be a battle the universe cannot survive. Eternity, it is now your turn. Despite my best efforts, I cannot shut my eyes to the awesome sight no mortal was ever meant to see. Armageddon commence in but seconds, and I have a front row seat for the event. I pray mine comes quickly, for the universe is about to become a place I no longer wish to be a part of. I am known as the Watcher. My sworn task is to observe and chronicle great events within the sector of the universe. My curse is to always witness and never participate. I must be true to this duty. Even on the brink of Armageddon, a combination of cosmic entities challenge Thanos' might. Such a conflict may well prove more than this fragile reality can bear. Thanos of Titan, we call upon you to surrender the Infinity Gems. Honor this request or face power beyond your wildest dreams. I believe you will discover the horizons of my images, far wider than you want, and you would suspect, Lord Chaos. You address greatness. Tread carefully. That which you challenge is beyond even your mystic understanding. Begone, foolish godling, or suffer my celestial wrath. I fancy your brother's about to put on quite a show. For us young arrows, we saw such grand forces aligned against him. Thanos will unleash the full fury of his power. Still the outcome of the battle yet remains uncertain. There be no time to worry about our energy, to be wasted on non-essential properties, such as his monument or relatives. I doubt you'll last more than a few microseconds in this conflict, but it should be a quick death. Of course, Lord Thanos has the power to rebuild his love monument afterwards. He'll make it as good as new. Perhaps he'll do the same for you. Just look at the marvelous job he did on Nebula, while half a galaxy away, and Earth is falling into another ice age. What transpires on your front, Warlock? Earth's defenders have fallen and been exiled to parts unknown. Please use your mystic power, Doctor Strange, to locate as many as you can for later retrieval. Meanwhile, Eternity's cosmic bridge has engaged Thanos. By the hoary host of Hoggoth, an engagement of that magnitude could the powers unleashed in the initial clash are beyond the power of words to describe. Many of the edicts of nature fall victim to the assault. I sense a near collapse along the entire spectrum of reality. Fear grows within my heart. I fear that I am witnessing the end of the universe. Entire solar systems in the immediate vicinity are ravaged by the effects of the celestial clash, calculating the billions of lives lost, as a rebuild of the conversation will have to wait. But even in the midst of such destruction, I am all shook by mysteries of the soul. The Titan Eros felt sure the death was near to claiming him. The only thing greater than his surprise at finding himself among the living is discovering who his savior is, Mistress Death. Her hatred for Thanos must reach unfathomable depths. I had no idea it would be so. Yes, server. Look, we survived. Too close. Warlock, what is that? An interdimensional distortion cap escape. Quickly, you must be away from here. If caught within its warping embrace, we will be lost. A precious universe where each second reveals a new and greater danger. Case in point, the planet Earth, jar loose from its orbit and drifting away from its sun. It is about to have a new doom visit upon it. A dimensional distortion cascade spirals too near the fragile world, and it was increased a day 1,000-fold as interdimensional scavengers such as Annihilus swarm down upon the once emerald jewel. Yes. Such worries seem hardly worth mentioning when considered in context, for this universe waits a mere breath away from all, in composing cosmic destruction, doom birth and nurtured within the mad ambitions of a black soul. Thanos defenses divinity. Let the heavens tremble. The two Celestials draft helpless planets into the conflict, using them as weapons of war. The fact that some of these worlds are inhabited by sentient life cannot be consideration in this galaxy spawning contest. With the speed of thought, the menacing potential is neutralized by power without limits. A second later, it becomes apparent that their sacrifice was but a ploy, a diversionary tactic. For the true thirst of a soul comes from Kronos, who seeks to bury the time deep within layers of time long forgotten. A futile hope for one of the Infinity Gems. Thanos' gauntlet gives him mastery over that which seeks to overwhelm him. It be like striving to drown an emotion, yet defeat is answered with renewed vigor. The two friends sought by Lord Order and Master Chaos. They hope to destroy the Titan. A divine enemy is an easier foe to deal with, but Thanos refuses to surrender his indestructibility, and the battle continues to rage without pause. Forces combined to add up to more than the sum of their total. The temporal is abandoned for pure force of energy, and the sheer insanity of Galactus, the Stranger and Ions. Blitzkrieg catches the mad Titan off balance, yet it is but a minor setback for Thanos, one that can be overcome with a mere wish. This is utterly foolish. The universe is being destroyed by those seeking to defend it. Such sanity cannot be allowed to continue. And how would you stop it? By love. By the heavens, what am I doing? Giving those wrenches exactly what they deserve. But they are my heavenly brothers, and I will kill them all. No, I should honor and cherish. What madness is this? Conflicting emotions tearing me apart. This can only be the work of Misha's love and sure hate. How dare you tamper with me so? Be away, brother. Some manipulators, but also beware Deceiver's Titan. Hell's fire what? Exactly, my liege. Mephisto, come to relieve you of your burden of supremacy. A responsibility I'm not quite ready to relinquish, traitor. You reverse to type prematurely, devil. An error you will pay for dearly. Wait. Who? Mistress Death. You too bid you pray me. No. Unburdened with chaotic emotion, let me be rid of all illusions, for I am Thanos. I am supreme. Who is there to argue with this sentiment? The galactic disruption has abated, but the war continues. Do not delude yourself into thinking otherwise. The shattered world in the distance. I know it. I've visited it. It was inhabited. There will be survivors amidst the wreckage. We must search them out. I would advise against it. I believe I've had more than enough of your advice, Warlock. As you wish, by the stars. It's just that a heart, even one as strong as yours, can only take so much. This bizarre conflict must end, not until Thanos is stopped. He is a nihilist. Unless his reign topples this, fate awaits the entire universe. I've been expecting you, now that his foot soldiers have fallen proud eternity, at last decides to show himself, to reclaim that which is mine and myself, control this reality. A prize I fought hard to gain, and one I shall never abandon. And let us see which almighty being truly has the tighter grip on the fabric of what is. Defend yourself, Titan. Surely this must be the end. No, the outcome of beyond your cosmic battle is already decided. How can you know this? I am linked to the Infinity Gems in ways even I do not fully understand. The mastery of all actuality is now firmly in the grasp of one individual. Thanos, or Eternity, who prevailed. One who only loses when his subconscious desires betray him. You mean? I do. And in that slim hope does survival lay. More riddles, Warlock. You speaking plainly beyond your ability. Perhaps Doctor Strange retrieval is in order. How goes the struggle? Poorly. Horrendously. The nature of energy is to disperse. The nature of this part is to contain conflicting tendencies. By the heavens, Thanos has succeeded in imprisoning even all-powerful eternity. All is lost. Master, my lover, speak to me. What would you have me say, dear Taraxia? Thanos has not truly unserved eternity's rightful position as the center of all reality in this sphere. This watcher can only conclude that a valiant effort to save this plane of existence has failed, no longer needed. Magnificent Thanos has rid himself of the flesh, has shed all vulnerability. Sir, your body, as you did once before the possession of the cosmic cube. Then as now, Thanos underestimated the strength of the flesh, especially charred flesh spurred on by hatred. Deep within, whether nebula engine stirs. No, the sin-shattering return to the flesh. Master, I cannot reach her in time. Any reversal of dire fortunes. Nebula steps away from the edge of a building. The mantle of providence resists now on new shoulders. My every wish is but a urge away. And what what I yearn for, dear Thanos. Revenge. Master, the reins of power have changed hands. How? Our situation has gone from bad to worse. It's a new Christian. Almighty is the range for months of pain and anguish. Strange, I have need of your mystic talents, trapped and alone, for I had not the foresight to create Terexia capable of surviving deep space without the aid of my now forfeited godly powers. I shall miss her, but survival be not a treasured prize. This body shall endure long after my spirit succumbs to this exile. Never has banished me to an eternity of drifting helplessly in space. All infinity to me on my sins and foolishness. What a mystic portal. Who? Welcome to Mother Earth Titan. Adam Warlock, why have you brought me here? A question I wonder about myself, so that I might destroy you, villain. Sir Fernal, back strange. Neither of us has the power to separate these lunatics. You can summon those who do. Way ahead of you, Adam. I was only able to locate these 5 before your return. They will do nicely. Gentlemen, if you'd be so kind. Now if you two are quite through, you might be interested in how we might yet save this universe from destruction, which is exactly where it's headed. When enabling control of the gems, her intelligence is not up to godhood. Sudden power would be a crushing load for even the finest mind. For nebulous scarred psyche must be overwhelming. Total confusion reigns as she strives to adjust to the deluge of universal sensory input, suffering the nightmare of abruptly becoming awake of all life and matter. Most certainly, the thought of escaping into cause-chaotic oblivion enters a chaotic zone. Pray that she does not surrender to the urge, for an entire reality would join her in that dark journey. Then it is agreed we go in with design. The plan stinks of risk, but I see no alternative, nor do I. In that case, a word alone with Thanos is needed before we can proceed, so that you can scheme up some new deviltry against us. I tell you, this warlock is obvious Thanos' secret partner to the door doom. Fool, you will regret not heeding my warning. They used to be comrades. Well, comrade, what now? Straightforward conversation. You know, we need your help to come and get it. And what if I withhold this aid? What benefit do I reap from nebulous defeat? The truth. What truth? About yourself. You have some special insight on this matter. Yes, I was part of the soul gem while you possessed it, which permitted me to access to your inner heart. I know you as no other being in the universe does. Better than even you do yourself. Look back onto your life, Thanos of Titan, and what do you see? A man always seeking ultimate power, and losing it as soon as he attains it. Why? Because deep in his soul, he knows he is not worthy of it. 3 times you have trumped over incredible odds to win the ends you desire, and 3 times you have subconsciously supplied the means to your own defeat. You let Nabila wrest the Infinity Gems from you, just as you allowed Captain Marvel to shatter the cosmic cube. No, it was a mistake. Even gods. I didn't. I will aid you, but afterwards no promises, none expected. Strange is all in readiness, everything set to go. Fight well as guardian. We shall give it our all. I haven't 1 chance in a million for a victory. They are well aware of that fact. We do. Yes, 1 in a billion. Already the mist begins to part. The future clears for me, and so does my destiny. I begin to understand Thanos' hunger for this infinite might. Tomorrow is mine to scope to my fancy. The universe is clay waiting to be molded. Never again will I be victimized or surprised, for I have seen my every waking moment stretching off into forever. In fact, a most satisfying instant is almost among us. In exactly 5 seconds from now, I shall be receiving visitors. 2 old foes, 3 others whose recent actions have earned them my animosity. They strike as one, combined might could easily render sure a small planet, but against Nebula and the Infinity Gems, they are nothing, merely a monumental diversion. They are but children sent to pasture, a means to attract my attention. The architects of this fruitless assault are now noticed and tracked down by the cosmic senses. You find this interesting, Eros. There are 3 who seek to challenge my might, and one of them is your brother Thanos, come to reclaim my rightful property, wench, with the help of your 2 little friends. You disappoint me, Thanos. I thought you'd make your last stand, armed with more than just empty bravado. A power. It is a quality that must be cultivated and nurtured. It is a reward to be earned through intelligence and patience. It cannot be gained in hell through chance. In the wrong hands, you will only prove self-destructive. The final confrontation on a free-floating satellite many light years from Earth. And so, dear Nebula, even though you have Ewan's Harford, that which is rightfully mine, it shall do you little good. Return the Infinity Gauntlet immediately, and all will be forgiven. A very tempting offer, grandfather. But I might even appoint you my chief consort if you behave yourself. Nebula's had 2 little friends, but 3 of us are company, Thanos. I take this to mean that my kind offer has been rejected, as ever. Thanos' king intellect amazes me, right the first time. Consort, indeed. He stands outside the realms of chaos and order. Nebula is unaware of chaos and order. Nebula is unaware of Warlock's presence. I see no good reason you might have for smiling, old man. We should clearly illustrates the pathetic limits of your own intellectual capacity. You haven't the vision necessary to properly exploit the Infinity Gems, where you have, I suppose. Just look at what have I accomplished so far. Great deeds such, it's killing off half the universe. Thinning the herd, pure insanity, a grandeur beyond your comprehension. So history, your reign is as a supreme being is blasphemy, which cannot be allowed to stand. And by the power of the Infinity Gems, I shall see that it does not, with the exception that I retain possession of the Infinity Gauntlet. Let everything be as it was 24 hours ago. No, the wish becomes reality. Half the universe is resurrected, mere moments after its unexpected death. Most will remember nothing of what has occurred. Someone have a nagging feeling that something is or was amiss. What others will remember, but what memory will prove Manning, for it will punctuate just how truly helpless they are, powerless against a force beyond their comprehension. They were capable of either causing galactic genocide or returning a frozen planet to its proper orbit. So let there be celebration throughout the heaven. The reins of power once again shift hands. The game continues. Behold a new day dawning. In a mere wish gave birth to the reality. World, let everything be as it was. Which one has a power of a god? She should be very careful about what she wishes for. Wishes are sometimes fulfilled. A mistake, even the worst thing that was, can rectify with but a thought. While your error of gloating, when you should have been grasping the power you crave, do not be so easily remedied. Satusha, how is it that you two still remain? Of course, the magician. Well, Brooke, no further mischief from you. Another error in judgment, Nabila. But again, when I prompted, write it. We have been truly fortunate so far. But as you are about to learn, some mistakes are worse than others. When you least expect it, they return to haunt you. the cosmic beings. We're back in Soul World. Why? Because my power is greater here than anywhere else. And because it's all part of my plan, the threat to the universe could not be neutralized until the gauntlet was in other hands. Because Thanos would have sensed it and stopped you. Yes, nebulous inexperience and current confusion is our only edge. For the beginning you knew Thanos could lose the gauntlet, 'cause I know Thanos and the way his mind works. So what now? I do what must be done, but I will need your assistance. In what fashion? Can you not guess? I am in need of a spirit virtual anchor. In order to fulfill that function, we must. The cosmic entities have learned well from our initial encounter. We attack, and now, in mass, rather than diffusing their might in their individual efforts. Nebulous bewilderment with opulence and a light grasp on this newfound power must be sensed by them. Strategy is obviously to hammer her with an unrelenting assault, thus keeping her from concentrating on a multi-level plane of existence. So her full strength is not allowed to be brought into. As expected, Nebula doesn't see this and has fallen victim to the ploy. Of course, such a tactic would have proven futile against me. Now you know. All that is Adam Warlock, and you northern rats. The scope and particulars of my plan are now clear to you. Yes, prelumination and understaging are not one in the same. I still cannot fathom your attitude towards this entire situation, toward all life in general. So detached. Emotional nerve catastrophe. I suppose. Somehow I managed. It is of no importance at the moment. Once again, the universe needs saving. It all sounds rather mundane than when said it like that, doesn't it? But that is what beings like you and I do we define in reality, especially a reality in which a soul can expand to fill a need, where one such an eye can reach out into the infinite and perhaps change the face of the cosmos. It was only matter of time before Nebula gained the upper hand. She possesses a power infinite. With such might, any Dellard would eventually prove victorious. Now everything depends on Warlock's timing. It must be perfect, or all is lost. Warlock, where are you? Nowhere, everywhere. Out one with the universe of the Soul Gem. Thanks for the lift. Handsome. Anytime, Gamora. What did you say your name was again? Iron Man. Not the most cordial fellows. Is he? We'll take it from here. Chrome Dome. What's the story, pimp? Looks like the boss is playing and is right on schedule. You're back among the living and breathing. In other words, no words from Adam Warlock. Right on the nose. But you can bet your bottom dollar it's on the way. And when it gets here, it's going to arrive with a bang. It's almost over. From the 1, I reach out to the 5. Adam, a new order exists within the universe. Oh, here's the coming of omnipotent Nebula. Adam, don't get lost out there. It's so easy to do so. Thanos bear witness to the birth of an astral dynasty, which will last many a millennium, perhaps forever. What do you say to that? Let there be disharmony. Adam, you've got to get back. What is this? Retribution. Time to call in the reserves. Dear Nebula, you learn godhood proves to be a mantle not easily worn. Now observe how such power should be properly wielded. Stay thy hand, Titan. Quickly, my friend. The gauntlet must not fall into Thanos' hands. Mine. You idiot, I'm on your side. Who's gonna get the gauntlet? Let the conflict end. Looks like there's a new supreme being in the neighborhood, and he would deal with all matters in his own fashion. The gauntlet belongs to me. You'd only lose it again, Titan. You don't really desire it. Are you fools going to let him grab the power? What right has he to it? The right of possession. That is enough. The infinite power is now Adam Morlock's. Seek not to dispute that claim. I promise to use it wisely. But what about these bozos? Thanos is mine. Unhand me, you dull-witted brutes. I suggest you puny fools. Put some distance between yourselves and my person. What? A thermal-nuclear device on my person, set to detonate in 15 seconds. Why? Because I would prefer death to imprisonment. Pride's my one fatal flaw. No time to deactivate the bomb. Stand back. What a way to go. Exactly what I would have experienced. What have I expected of Thanos? I, as a representative of the sovereign state of Titan, claim custody of Nebula. Titan shall judge and imprison her. So be. What? The others gone. Yet we remain. Why? Because each of you have gazed into the depths of my heart. Before you became power incarnate, it makes no difference my soul is known to you. Go forth and tell the masses that Adam Morlock is a god who can be trusted. I'm not so sure we can truthfully do that. The power corrupts is a truth that cannot be ignored. You fear a cosmic despot. Surely you must realize that even before Thanos, you lived under such tyranny. But it was a blind reign, random and unfocused. And so, that is, calculating, you find this, afraid replacing your usual chaos with order might prove unpalatable. Already the distance between what I was and am is instrumental, like in that contemplating the cosmos. I knew it would be so, yet still I hoped. I guess there really is nothing left to say. Amazing. What's happening, big guy? I began a journey mapped out amongst the stars, to see path I cannot stray from. Nice places LED you to so far. Where the heck are we? 60 days into the future on an unnamed planet. Impossible. For that word no longer holds any meaning for me. So what are we doing here? Ain't no visit. On who and why? Why? Because it is what I always do after becoming God. Always. Look, time is a repeating loop to me now. Thanos, merely an empty shell of what was. A scarecrow. You've got to be kidding. That house. There is no humor in reality. Greetings, Thanos. I should have known I couldn't fool you. As you all know, the universe no longer holds any secrets from me. The memories dim. Why have you waited so long to gain vengeance? Must you always ask that same question? I suppose so confusing, isn't it? I seek not revenge. Advice is what I crave. Endure or surrender the power. Puny words of comfort, as you well knew that it would be. Where does the Supreme Being go from here? To confrontation, to resolution, and then on to yet another confrontation, such as now. My lot. Time has taught you the folly of such an existence, has it not? 3 failures of such scope are enough even for me. A quiet life will allow me to digest incorporate the lessons the past has forced upon me, and I wish you the best of luck. Titan, farewell. What? You're not planning on leaving him running free, are you? You nuts. That dude's a monster. Thanos is merely peace like all others in the mystic that is my universe. Without Thanos, the picture is incomplete. Well, if you say so. Still think you're out of your mind. Power such an ephemeral commodity I hard to gain, easy to lose, and I once thought I understood it. What vanity! Adam Warlock, a being who wished nothing more than to spend the rest of his days within the peaceful environment of the soul gem, you now possesses the infinite power and all the responsibility that goes along with it. Why, whose entire life was dedicated to the pursuit of power. Now I find myself scraping out a living from the soil, irony worthy of the drama. Yet strangely enough, though I envy not Adam Warlock, somehow I feel that in the long run, Thanos of Titan came out ahead of this particular deal.